Hey, are you listening to Unab On Air right now? If not, what are you waiting for?
A new program has arrived on unabradio.com to live the English language.
Are you listening to Unab On Air right now?
Unab On Air will bring you news, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday afternoon. Join us at unabradio.com and enjoy the Unab On Air experience. News, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm good. Starting the week, Monday.
No, I'm tired already.
You're
and
tired?
It's only
Yeah,
Monday.
me too.
Yeah,
I wish it was holiday.
Kind of sleepy. Holiday?
No, I wish.
2 more weeks for the holiday.
Yeah, 2 more weeks.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about something that is happening very, very close in the university, which is called final exams.
Chan, chan, chan.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun,
You
dun,
don't have
dun.
that. Dun, dun, dun.
No, I don't. I can do it. Ta,
When I
ta,
was a
ta.
student, final exam took a lot of time to be prepared. You know, it's like 2 weeks studying. We used to have like these small groups studying. But the problems when you study for a final exam is that if you are in a group, you don't study at all. You gather, you start talking about classes, and you start like memorizing what is happening in the class, or like remember that day when Susana, remember that day when Mario, remember that? And at the end you say, okay, so what's the exam about? It's about this, and that. That's a piece of cake.
That's easy.
You don't study. Couple of beers, watch a movie.
You trust. You just trust
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah, you have a big ego in that moment. So I'm capable to do it. I'm ready. And then you got the exam, and you, at the very first moment you see at that paper, you realize you are not ready. You're not prepared. You should have studied.
Yes.
Now I don't know these days. These days different, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and also I think these days exams are changing because they are usually they were like a lot of papers and a lot of questions and multiple questions, etc. And I think now that maybe kind of like the education itself is changing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like maybe something more dynamic, or maybe something more like a kind of like a practice, not just like write on a paper, but actually let me know with your actions that you know what is the exam about, that you are capable of this.
Yeah, normally on finals they don't have like these rigid exams. They have projects, or they have to
like a final project or
Yeah.
a final delivery or something. Yeah.
Some they have to deliver a paper, give a speech, organize an activity. That's something different they do from my generation. But what remains is that in group you don't study at all.
Yeah, that's true.
I was on weekend. I was like trying to figure out what to speak about, because next week we have exams. I'm not doing the program. In the incoming week is holiday. I'm not doing the program. So that semester is over. So I was like,
you don't work.
What can I do to talk about that is coming, and we don't have the next 2 sessions? And I was walking around the cafeteria, and there
you
were
saw
like
people studying.
yeah, there were like 4 groups studying, and I could realize the 4 ways a student study. Way number 1, in a group of 4 students, only 1 studies. The rest,
or there's one like reading, and the other one's like trying to pay attention, but they are actually like on their phones, like blah blah blah.
yeah. When this and I saw only 1 studying, only 1 on the computer studying actually, and the other 3 were like talking on the cell phone. They were watching a game or something like that. Group number 2, all of them were reading on the PC. but I'm sure they have no idea what
they
they
are
were
reading.
reading. Because they were looking at the computer like watching a horror film. You know, like,
When did we?
what is that?
When did this happen? Why did I choose this?
Group number 3, a more honest group. They
were cheating. They were.
they were all together asking ChatGPT.
That's
You know,
honest. Yeah.
You at this time, at this point, you should be prepared and identify the logo. So you look at the screen, you say, that's ChatGPT, you know. And they were asking ChatGPT things, how to write it, what is the answer to? Okay, and I was like, okay, a new way to study. And the group number 4, that was my favorite one.
What it was?
They were all together. You know, the cafeteria, they have these round tables.
Yeah.
They were all together, sitting around the table, and they were doing nothing. And in the middle, a pile of books. And at the top of the pile of books, a PC. That was it. And they were like talking and chatting. I have no idea if they have already finished. I have no idea if
Probably they haven't started.
or if they had never started, or if they just, they realize and say, you know what?
Why try?
We have to enjoy life. We have nothing to do in
What's
front
the
of the
point?
exam.
What's the point of this?
What's the point of this? Let's eat something. And they were chatting, And it was very funny. I was closing ingenierías, and I was like looking at the 4 groups, and I say, that's my topic. How do you study in groups? So how do you study in groups? Have you ever studied in groups?
No. I think no.
No. Have you ever planned to study? Now that you do the action, it's different.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
What
I
happened?
have. I think it was funny. The time I'm thinking about right now, it was funny because it was like we finished class like really late, and the next day really early we had like this presentation, and it was in group, of course. So we like, okay, we are going to study together, so we are going to stay at someone's house, and we are not going to sleep, we are going to study all night and blah blah blah. Okay. So we get there, and as soon as we get there, we were like, okay, well, first let's eat something because we need energy, blah blah blah. So we ordered like a pizza, and then we eat and talk, and then it was like, okay, yeah, like, let's start. So open the computer and start doing like the presentation and all of this. And it was funny because I think it was like how you say that, like relevos.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were taking turns.
Yeah, it's kind of like we were taking turns because there was
To
someone typing and saying, okay, and we're going to say this and this and this, and then it was like, pew, and the person was like, and then for some reason another person kind of had like a spark of energy and was like, okay, let me try. And okay, yeah. And then 1 hour later again, and then the other one, and it was funny because I think we did it good, but still it was funny because when you kind of like see the whole presentation, you were able to notice the difference between each person that was typing and each person that was looking for the information.
Yeah.
Because we were all different, and we look for different kind of information or different kind of videos and all that. So it was like a huge collage of information.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I think it's not easy at all, and I think doing it here at college is even harder because you have distractions everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you just sit on a table, and there's like, oh yeah, your friend passes, oh hi, blah blah, and your teacher passes, oh hi, and someone, oh, you want a candy? Oh, I sell candies, I sell donuts, blah blah. So a lot of distraction. For me, it's hard because I get distracted really easy.
As a teacher, it's pretty easy to when you got like kind of the result, you can you can easily identify the stages of the project. You know, the very beginning, the well structured section, it was at the beginning. They study. You know, it's like 1 hour or 1 hour and a half. When they start writing incoherences, it's because they start to fall apart. You know,
Like for the
fall
morning.
asleep. Yeah, and at the end, they make a very short and senseless conclusion because they were pretty tired to continue typing stuff. But my theory is the only one in front of the computer is the one who studies. The rest, they don't study. So here's another problem. So why not we all get computers? Because you finish playing Call of Duty online. At the end, you play Call of
Among
Duty
Us.
online, yeah, or any kind of game you
Yeah.
play. So studying in groups is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to propose
I think it's still
because
like,
you always want to gather with your friends, but you
Yeah.
don't want to gather to study.
yeah, actually, I think that studying or even doing a work in group, it's hard. It's not easy to work along with other people, you know.
When I was doing my master, it was online. I had to develop some reports and create some papers and some documents and stuff.
Yeah.
A kind of project, and I'm the kind of guy who I don't like to work in groups, honestly, because I'm kind of the nerdy person who is in front of the computer, and when somebody
You
else
want to have the control of everything.
no, not the control. I want to do the things,
Okay.
and later to have people to double check and say, okay, this is not okay, this is not okay. I can do it like this, and that's it. But the problem is when you are organizing the structure of the document or whatever it is, and every single person around you wants a piece of them into that structure.
Wants to have an opinion.
No, wants to incorporate your opinion, because an opinion is, okay, I recommend you to turn the volume off,
Okay.
or turn it down. And you say, no, it's okay like this, that's okay. But the problem is when the person says, no, turn the volume down now.
And like an order.
That's the problem, you know.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know how students do it these days.
I don't
In my days, the only distraction was the TV and maybe a couple of internet. That's it. Because when I finished university, the internet was not that powerful as
Yeah.
it is now. When you get into the web, there were not many things to pay attention to.
Yeah, right now there's a lot. There's
Right now, it's
a huge
impossible to
distraction,
not
yeah.
consider stuff.
And not just the computer, your only your phone. That's a huge distraction for everyone, I think.
Yeah, and every time you get into the system, you have the algorithm giving you distractions.
Yeah.
Look at the new email.
The internet knows you.
Yeah.
And it knows what you want
Yeah.
to see.
That's why you have to turn off your camera. Because they look at you and say, you don't look like you want to study. You want to watch cats having fun.
That's why you finish like the night watching TikTok for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
Phew, phew.
And it's a very powerful thing. That's why I don't have TikTok.
That's a wise decision. It is.
I don't have TikTok. I don't have Instagram. I only have Facebook. I'm an old-fashioned guy.
Old-fashioned, really old-fashioned, yeah.
So if you are watching the show and you are planning to study,
Do
for
it
the
by
finals,
yourself.
do it by yourself.
Do it by yourself.
Well, I was in a class 2 to 4, and if the student is watching the show or is going to watch the show any single time, you are the one I'm going to talk about. He got into the room, and I say, okay, guys, we have the next class. We have the oral report. First question, teacher,
What is the oral report?
what is that? What do you mean? What is that? It's the in-group presentation. Yeah, teacher. And I continue giving details and stuff. What? What's my group? What do you mean, what's your group? You were here, you were organized. No, teacher, I was absent that day. Yeah, you were absent that day. But remember, I assigned you with Fulano and Fulana. Okay. What? teacher, what is about the job? So I said, what do you mean? What is about? Have you ever given me any report, any delivery that I asked you? Say, no, teacher, I don't remember. So you owe me 3 quizzes. Says, maybe yes.
Maybe.
Next question. What? Teacher, can I change my group? And every single person in the classroom were like, what? Changing your group? He say, yes, I need to get adopted by a responsible group.
I will say, like, maybe you should ask if you can repeat this class.
No, but
Like, teacher, do you know when the vacational English starts?
No, he's a good kid, honestly. He at the beginning it was very difficult for him to go to classes. Maybe he's not used to that.
Classes?
To classes. and there was a moment when I was like well, today starting the class, he was like, teacher, he arrived late. He was, teacher, what's the activity today? No, we're going to finish with this topic. Okay, teacher. Look at the board. What is that? The topic of today. So what are we doing? And he's a funny person, honestly.
I think he can study by himself either.
I don't know. He says he had many things at the beginning of the semester, so and study by yourself. But
And really
most
study.
important of all, don't call any single person to ask about any single thing, because they are going to invite you to do something.
Yeah.
You have any questions? Come on, join the group. We are going to study. And you don't study. You don't study at all.
Yeah.
Especially when I used to have classes on Saturdays. There was a guy who arrived to the final exam. He was completely turned down. He was devastated. He was like, when you see a person on the face and you easily identify, you haven't slept in all last night, right? They say, and I ask him, have you ever, okay, did you sleep last night?
Did you sleep this week?
He says, no, teacher. I said, why? We were studying. We who? And he looked at the back and he was like, my friends and me. And I say, your friends are inside the classroom. You are out at the door. So who did you study with? He was like, no, teacher. And he pointed at some guys inside the room. With him and with him and with her. And I was like, did you study with him? Yes, teacher, we study all night. And did you sleep? Yes, teacher, we went home to sleep. So what happened to him? We don't know. It was his house. I don't know.
That sounds kind of schizophrenic.
Yeah, no, the 3 guys that were studying it was a bosque, in a nearby place near the bosque. And he called the girl. He was like, hi, do you know what are the topics for the exam tomorrow? He says, no, we are studying about the English exam for tomorrow. And she says, where are you? At home. If you want to, we can go there, because we are looking for a place to study. So we can study and you gather and you study too. He says, okay. So they arrived. They studied like 2 or 3 hours, and then they left. And the girl says, we left at 12 p.m. I don't know what happened.
That's suspicious.
So, study by yourself.
Study by yourself, but study.
Thank you very much. Study for your finals. It's going to be amazing if you do it. It's going to be devastating if you don't.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, are you listening to Unab On Air right now? If not, what are you waiting for?
A new program has arrived on unabradio.com to live the English language.
Are you listening to Unab On Air right now?
Unab On Air will bring you news, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday afternoon. Join us at unabradio.com and enjoy the Unab On Air experience. News, interviews, and the best music for your Thursday